Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. And we're back from our wonderful 2 long weekends at the beach with family. It was wonderful. We had a great time. Lots of rest and relaxation going on. So we're ready to get back into the garden. So come garden with us today and let's get some planting done. And I don't know if you can see on the table behind me, I did get some plants and I swore I was not going to order some more plants or buy some more plants, but of course I did. We have some more perennials I think we could use in our latest bed, the Cupricina bed, and I feel like we have a pink theme going on up there, so I ordered some more pink themed perennials, so we're going to get those in the ground today. I'll show you those in a second. And if you watched one of our latest videos, I'll go over there. You saw, I think maybe a month and a half ago, we installed an arbor. I think it's been longer than a month. So, of course, we need something to go on the arbor. So I bought a Rise Up Lilac Days rose. We have those at work. And it's probably, part of it is probably already 6 feet tall. It was blooming. It's gone a little bit out of bloom by now. It does have some buds on it still, though. And I think when they were in full bloom at the garden center, it really was a beautiful pale purple color. And I think that will look nice with the color theme we have going on here. Especially, it's going to be growing right up in kind of next to the little quickfire that we recently planted. So I'll turn you around and show you what I mean. So here's the little quickfire. And obviously, panicle hydrangeas, they get really pink. So I feel like the pale purple flowers of the Rise Up Lilac Days is going to look really pretty. We have a couple of gorgeous True Passion roses here. We have, you know, fall blooming sedum. That's just the autumn joy. Invincibelle wee white hydrangeas. And of course, across the way, on this side of the arbor, we have the purple pillar rose of Sharon hedge. So that will look really nice with the Rise Up Lilac Days. And we have another little quickfire here. So I think that's going to look really pretty. I don't know if this is a short climber. Yeah, it does have a tag. So let's take a look at that. And it's interesting they show white because they're not white. Maybe the tag's just faded. So it's Rise Up Lilac Days, Proven Winners, Climbing Rose. Best thing about this is it's thornless. Since it was so tall, I was wondering how I was going to get this into the back of my SUV. I thought I was going to get all scratched up until I realized it's thornless. Absolutely smooth. So that's kind of cool. But anyway, let's look at the stats on this. So obviously full sun. It's an upright rose. It's fragrant, very fragrant. Oh my gosh, you can smell it from 20-30 feet away at the garden center. So it's 5 to 8 feet tall, 2 to 4 feet wide, hardy in zones 4 through 9. And it says, Rise Up Lilac Days Rose will fill your world with flowers. This healthy, versatile rose can be grown as a shrub or climber. Unique purple flowers are exceptionally fragrant, and they really are. So that'll be fun. Climbing up the arbor here. My husband has already put some of that new growth you can see up there through the slats in the arbor. Now let's take a look at the perennials. If you saw my short, posted a short with these perennials, you already know what they are, but let's go take a look at them. So again, these are going to go up in our latest bed. Up. Let's see if I can do this. Here. Let me see if I can do that better. So yeah, this bed. There's the redbud tree. There is right there crabapple. The Cupricina is like right here. There's a bed behind all this foliage that's closer. So that's where these are going to go. So we've got some beautiful Fall in Love Sweetly Anemone. These are in quart-size containers. I also swore off ordering quart-size containers anymore because I don't seem to have good luck with quart-size containers. But they were on sale for an amazing price. Plus I got an additional 25% off. They're already budded. So maybe we'll even get some flowers this fall. That one has buds. This one has a lot more nice foliage. And this one has a little bud there. So again, these are Fall in Love Sweetly Anemone, 20 to 26 inches tall. These will provide some nice late season color. I have some anemone at the bottom of our property under our spruce tree that have been blooming since probably mid-August. And I wanted a smaller anemone, not necessarily one of the real big ones. I don't think that's focusing. Medium, 20 to 26 inches tall. Hardy zones 4 through 8, late summer to early fall. Fall blooming perennial, semi-double rose pink flowers. So yeah, really like that. And then I'm trying again the Luminary Opalescence Phlox. Again, it's a pink theme up there, so I think these will be really pretty if I can get them to work. I tried these once before, did not have luck. I think maybe the planting location just was not optimal for the phlox. But you can see how pretty they are. They really are like opalescence flowers. So these are a little bit taller because I need them to be taller than the Let's Dance Skyview. 30 to 32 inches tall. And hardy in zones 3 through 8. Light pink, not easy to see. Flowers have dark pink eyes and form defined panicles. Dark green leaves, very best for disease resistant. I did not experience them being very disease resistant, but again, I think maybe it was the planting location. And I do think these 3 up in that bed will get the benefit of some drip irrigation, so that might help them out a little bit. And this is not all of the plant haul. We do have more plants. I just feel like this is what we're going to be able to get planted today, and we'll break this up into a couple of videos because these are easy to get in. Nothing has to be moved or transplanted for these plants to get into the beds. A couple of the other things that we have need something transplanted in order for them to go in their location. So I feel like we'll wait for another day to do those. So let's get started with these. I think this will keep us busy enough. So you saw where the rose is going. So now you can see the little white quart-sized containers up here with the phlox. Phlox over here, anemones over here. I forgot we transplanted this little laced up elderberry here, trying to save it for the 3rd year in a row. And that's kind of where I wanted the phlox to go. So now I'm not sure, but I'm sure we'll find a spot. And I wanted the anemones to go kind of back there where the empty space is, but I think we just planted bulbs there. But I feel like I still want them back there because it is an empty spot. Bulbs will only be in the spring, obviously. And I'm trying to take into account here the mature size of this a Steady Eddie viburnum to plant these phlox, which, should they survive, will also be quite large. I don't know, so maybe I go here, but I feel like they will be taken over by that. So that's, I believe, 3 to 5 feet tall and wide. So it's really only about 2 feet wide now. So if you figure another foot out on either side, I mean, maybe we can put them here. And then maybe next summer decide if the elderberry lives, put something else there. Or, just order a couple more phlox and put those over there. But anyway, so we're going to get these planted. And again, we have to be careful because there are bulbs here. We did get some more from my neighbor. We just planted those up about a month ago. I don't believe we filmed that. So, but I have absolutely no recollection of actually where we planted those. So we'll just see what happens. So I think for now, that's going to work. And the reason why I'm not putting anything here, which you might think the phlox would go fine here, is because these 3 Castle Spire holly are going to be transplanted into the middle here. But I feel like that's where I wanted the anemones to go. And again, that is a blank spot back there. An arb is going to be planted back there too, but I'm trying to take into account the mature size of everything. And the mature size of this rhododendron is, I think, like 4 to 6 feet tall and wide. And then the arb, which will go in the back there, will be like 5 feet wide. So I feel like maybe the anemones can move up slightly. But I do think we have bulbs there too. And we're not going to use the auger here. I don't know if I said that yet already, because it's too close to the little quickfire. And even though we just planted that, I don't want to damage the roots. We're not going to be using an auger at all today. So and we just have a little bit of biotone left today, so I bought a big plant tone bag at work, at the garden center where I work. Even though we have a big bag of hollytone in the garage, plant tone is actually closer in composition to biotone than the hollytone is. So the biotone is, where is it? It's a 433. But as you can see, the plant tone is a 533. Hollytone is 434. I didn't want to go that different. I think the biggest difference between the plant tone and the biotone is in one of these percentages here. So it's real close, and it's cheaper, a lot cheaper for some reason than the biotone. So yeah, there it is, 433. And the only number that's off, yeah, it's the top number. The total nitrogen is 5 in the plant tone, whereas it's 4 in the hollytone. So that's what makes up the 4 and the 5. So that's why we're using the plant tone as opposed to the biotone. You could use hollytone, not a problem. I think we have enough biotone for the rose, so we will use the plant tone for the perennials. And I think we're going to get one more thing planted today. I'm not going to say what it is yet because we'll see how long this takes us. We're also hand watering up at the top of the property, at the very top of the property, so we have to stop, run up there, move the hose. I have the hose right now watering a very large eastern white pine that was planted in 2023, I think. Had a timer on it, so I have to go up and move it to the next one. So as you can imagine, that takes some time. What do you think? I think it's going to look really pretty once it gets up and over the arbor here. I don't know. So it's a short climber. I don't know that it's ever going to go, which I'm fine with, all the way over and down the other side. I don't know that I want it to do that anyway, but it will look really pretty, at least on the one side when it's covered in lilac colored roses. Maybe we do a clematis on the other side at some point. All right, I have to go up and continue watering at the top of the property, so I will leave you with my husband while he puts the other plants in the ground. And at least where the anemones are, I believe that's where we extended the bed, so that should be pretty easy to dig because we have probably 4 or 5 inches of enriched topsoil there. The Phlox is just the original bed, so it's probably going to be a little bit harder to dig. And I actually think we must have planted some bulbs here, and it's actually coming up. So I don't know. I still feel like we'll do the anemones first. I have to think a little bit harder on the final spot for the Phlox. All right, so I changed the location since we think there's bulbs down here, and I didn't really like the phlox there. That's not where I bought them to go. We're going to put them on either side of the laced up elderberry. So 2 up there, 1 down here. And we have an irrigation line there, so we'll just have to go back slightly.
Which means that this one's going to have to go back slightly.
Which is good, because we can always tap into that. Phlox need a lot of water.
There's a line going right there.
Another one.
That's not the actual main line. It's just a
Drip.
feeder line to somewhere. I don't know where it's going.
So obviously you've already seen, but 3 phlox landed on either side of the laced up elderberry, and the 3 anemones are here next to, I believe these are the plum pudding heuchera. So again, all the pink in here is going to look really pretty once everything is a little bit more mature, once everything is flowering. On to the next project. I'm not going to say what it is yet because I'm not sure what we're going to do next. Alright, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to transplant the 3 Castle Spire holly in this same bed. I don't know if I showed you. They're kind of going to go in a triangle in the middle of the bed. And I think there's bulbs in there. But that is so we can plant the 5 American pillar arbs that I did not tell you about. So if you watched 2-3 videos ago, I had mentioned entering a contest from Great Garden Plants. They were offering 10 arborvitae American pillars to the winner. Well, of course I didn't win. I didn't expect to. But so I ended up purchasing 5 through their website. A little bit smaller than I would have wanted, but they were on sale. And then to anyone who did not win that contest, they offered an additional 15% off. So I think I got them. They're like trade gallon. So they're about, I guess, 4.5 feet tall. They're just not that wide. And I think I got them for like 20 bucks after all the discounts. So that's what we ended up getting for here. I did not order 10. I think we could probably use another 7 or 8 to finish up the screening on this side of our property. We'll do that in the spring, where we'll be at the beginning of the year. My budget won't be so stretched and we can get bigger ones. Turn you around, show you the arbs, and then show you where the Castle Spire holly are going to end up. So here are the 5 arbs. Again, not really wide, but they are kind of tall. They were bent over a little bit in the box. So if I stand them straight up, yeah, they're probably about 4.5 for the most part. So I will transport those up there, so I'll show you where they're going to go, and then we'll get them in the ground. Okay, so I think you can see Rob already dug the hole here. This is where the smallest of the 3 Castle Spire hollies is going to go, and then the other 2 will go, one kind of where the shovel is, and another one you can see that little divot. They'll form a triangle so that when there are then 3 arbs, 1, 2, 3, the Castle Spires will fill in the blanks between these 2, or these 3, if that makes sense. I'm trying to form a green wall without forming a green wall. These have been here since 2023, so they're probably fairly well rooted. They're probably going to shock.
You mean all the way back?
Like, look at me. Go this way slightly. Yeah, like that. And the reason why I'm not too terribly concerned buying such small arbs is that I have experience with these American pillars and I know how fast they grow. We bought 4 in 2023. They were shorter than these ones we have now, maybe just a little bit fuller at the bottom. So they were probably about 3.5 feet tall. Today, 3.5 years later, they're probably 10 to 12 feet tall. So I know how quickly they grow. I'm not too concerned about it. Especially since those maples are gone. The roots are starting to break down. There will be more water and nutrients available to all the trees, shrubs, and perennials in this bed now. And hopefully these castle spires will start to put on some growth as well. This is the Dandyman color wheel rhododendron we bought in the spring that did not make it. So no hole to dig here because this arborvitae is just going to go right in the same hole. Yeah, it didn't even root in. Plus there's a black walnut, which probably didn't help. Sometimes plants just don't make it. Win some, lose some. Don't be afraid to lose some plants. That's just what happens. Some of them just are not rooted in well. Maybe they came with a problem. I'm not too worried about it. This gives us an opportunity to put an arborvitae here and continue the screening. And actually, I think I see, if we look at the other Dandyman color wheel, which is doing fine, starting to put buds on for next year. So at least I know that one's doing okay. I'm gonna check the spacing. Yeah, I think that looks good. The spacing that I'm looking for is that both arbs we're planting here are equidistant from the rhododendron, and that they both look kind of equally spaced from the Cuprocina spruce as well.
You could have checked to see if it was. It's still.
All right, several hours later, let's see how everything turned out. I actually think this bed looks awesome now that it's full. Obviously the Castle Spire hollies, they have some filling in to do, but with all of this evergreen interest now, it looks so much better than it did. So let's turn around and check it out. So we will get everything watered in. We're just giving our well pump a break because I just spent the last 2 to 3 hours hand watering everything at the top of the property. So here you can see the Castle Spire in their new location, and the 3 American Pillar arborvitaes have taken their place. Everything's got a little filling in to do, but like I said, these American Pillars grow so fast that I'm not too worried about it. And there you can see the anemone. Here's the other American Pillar and the final American Pillar and bucket. Let's take a look one more time from the front. Yeah, I think it's going to look great once everything grows up and fills in. All right, so another project completed. I hope you enjoyed watching. Thanks for coming along. Like I said, we do have some more plants to get in. We want to get the 3 gem box in the ground out of the pots that they've been in all summer. I think it's, yeah, just been this summer. We have an Ilex shamrock holly we need to get in the ground, and then the 2 Aphrodite sweet shrub that will go up the top of the property. So hopefully that will be the last planting. I shouldn't say that because it never is, but hopefully. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.